Good evening and welcome to the June 4th Council meeting. If you would please stand, Councilman Burton is going to lead us in the flag salute this evening. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Our first ceremonial this evening is a presentation, the Chino Cultural Foundation Student Scholarship Recipients. The Chino Culture Foundation supports music, theater, and visual arts by providing scholarships to students living within the Chino Valley Unified School District and is pleased to recognize this year's award recipients. The Youth Arts Scholarship goes to students enrolled in music, theater, or visual arts programs and may be used for training, instrumental rental or purchase, or to purchase equipment and materials. The Roseanne Hammond Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a student who is graduating from Buena Vista High School here in Chino, who will be pursuing education, training, or a career in the arts. The Gretchen Hart McCombs Memorial Music Scholarship is awarded to a graduating senior or a current college student who is enrolled in a college or university as a music or music education major. I'd like to call up Mr. Jeff Werner, the Chino Cultural Foundation president. He's going to do the presentations this evening. Hi, Jeff. Do you have other foundation members here that are with you this evening?
Yes, I'd like to acknowledge any of the other board members that are here. If you could just raise your hands. Thank you for your attendance here this evening. Yes, the board members, if you would like to join me up here at the front. I know there's some here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm very pleased on behalf of the Chino Cultural Foundation to present these scholarship recipients this year. And as we have 3 different categories of scholarships. And so as I announce your name, if you could join us at the front and stay at the front here for a photo after we get all the recipients here at the front. First is the Youth Art Scholarship recipients, and we'll start with Angelo Gibbs. Angelo, good. Catherine Gruen. Catherine? Melina Leona. I probably still didn't say it right, did I? Joy Utterback. A recipient, but he wasn't able to be with us here this evening, but I would like to acknowledge Andrew Castaneda. Our second category of scholarships is the Roseanne Hammond Memorial Scholarship recipient, and we do have the Hammond family in attendance this evening. I would like to acknowledge them. Thank you for, if you could stand, please. Thank you for your attendance this evening. Roseanne Hammond was a teacher at Buena Vista, and we named this scholarship after her a few years ago. And the recipient this year, unfortunately, is not here, but it's Jacob Astor Lopez. Let's acknowledge him. Thank you. The third category of scholarships is the Gretchen Hart McCombs Memorial Music Scholarship recipient. Okay, and so that would be Kelsey Reberger. Kelsey? we had two recipients this year of the Gretchen Hart McCombs Memorial Music Scholarship. Unfortunately, the other one is not here, and that's Abby Lane, but I would like to recognize Abby Lane. Again, thank you, all of the recipients. Congratulations, and we'll have a moment for your parents to take photographs and the official photograph there. There we go. We can all squeeze in here. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Again, congratulations.
Thank you and congratulations to all. Next presentation we have is the business of the month, which is for June. Our business of the month is a staple here in Chino. It has been a fixture in the community for decades, and we couldn't be more thrilled to honor them today. For the month of June 2024, we would like to recognize Hottinger Family Meats as our business of the month. I'd like to call up Ben and Michael Hottinger and anyone else that's here from the organization that would like to come up. Hi. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here, Ben. Hi, how are you? Well, Hottinger's was founded in 1941 in Pomona. It wasn't long before founders Henry and Daisy Hottinger chose our Chino as its permanent home in 1948. Today, their son Ben Hottinger owns and operates this family-owned and operated business. His son Michael works as the business office manager. Hottinger Family Meats has been in business for an astounding 76 years. A full-service meat market and deli, Hottinger's not only sells classic favorite meats, but hard-to-find items as well. Customers appreciate the friendly service and the knowledgeable staff, often praising the price and high quality of their meats. The Hottingers are proud to support the local nonprofit Food for Life by donating food to families in need, as well as the Chino American Legion. Hottingers also supports our local businesses such as Central Basco, Taylor's Cafe, Corral Bar and Grill, as well as Ray and Sandy's Hideaway through the sale of portion-cut meats. 76 years in business is a tremendous accomplishment, and our community is lucky to have this regional staple right here in our beautiful city. We appreciate you for choosing Chino as your place of business and look forward to many more years with you. Please join me in congratulating Hottinger Family Meats for being our June 2024 Business of the Month recipient. And I'd like to present you with a certificate of congratulations. You know, your company is very important to many people in this community. I know our son in particular goes to your family a lot for his meats. I know you help out the 4-H and the FFA tremendously, especially during the auction time. We have sent animals to you before to process for us. It's just a great business, and if you have not visited them, I would encourage all of you to do so. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much. We're honored to have been here this long and to have done business with the people of Chino and surrounding area. Thank you very much. We're very honored.
Well, it's our privilege. You don't want to say anything, Michael? Well, thank you again. I know we had heard about a turducken. Now, has anybody here tried a turducken? Well, Hottingers will make a turducken for you, but you have to order it first. And Ben, explain what a turducken is. How do you make a turducken?
It's a chicken inside a duck, inside a turkey, with dressing, two different kinds, and they're very good. They're difficult to make, but we have a good time with them.
You have to order it special. I was dying to try it, and so they said, well, you can get one at Hottinger's. So I called, and sure enough, we ordered one a couple of years ago. It's an experience. You should try a turducken.
You need a few people to eat them.
Yes, you need quite a few people to eat them. They're big, as you can imagine, a chicken inside a duck inside a turkey. It's interesting. Okay, want to get the picture? Well, thank you for coming down this evening. Thank you. Okay, our next presentation is the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for June, and it goes to Mr. and Mrs. Stan of Kennedy Court, but they were unable to attend this evening. Their award and the little goodies that we give them will be provided to them later, and I think staff can put a picture up for their home. So let's give them a hand. Congratulations. We did have closed session prior to the beginning of this meeting, and I'd like to ask for a report out from our attorney.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and all of those present. The City Council met in closed session as announced by the mayor and discussed the two items listed on the closed session portion of the agenda, beginning with item 1, conference with legal counsel, 1 item of anticipated litigation under the heading initiation of litigation. City Council received an update, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. And council met on item number 2, conference with labor negotiator concerning the various employee organizations listed on the agenda and previously announced before recessing to closed session. City Council received an update and no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. City Manager Wright, do we have any agenda additions or revisions?
No changes, Mayor.
Okay. Next on our agenda is public announcements. So for skateboarding days, attention Chino skaters. Drop into Ayala Skate Park located at 5575 Edison Avenue for the annual Go Skateboarding Day. Join us on Friday, June 21st from 3 to 6 p.m. as we celebrate International Go Skateboarding Day with great food, giveaways, competitions, and an afternoon full of skateboarding fun. To learn more, please call Community Services Parks and Recreation Department at 909-334-3257. Now, starting on Friday, June 14th, bring the whole family for a fun movie Under the Stars on Chino City Hall, located at the lawn, located at 13220 Central Avenue. Each evening will kick off at 6:30 p.m. and will also include local food vendors and exciting informational booths. Attendees are encouraged to bring their own lawn chairs and blankets. For more information, please call the Carolyn Owens Community Center at 909-334-3258 or visit cityofchino.org/movies. The Chino Kiwanis Club is bringing a thrilling collection of live music to Chino City Hall lawn with a special season finale on July 26th at Founders Park located at 851 West Preserve Loop. Concerts will start on Thursday, June 13th and run from 7 to 9 p.m. Be sure to bring your own lawn chairs and blankets and get ready for the movies. Get ready to move, rather. For more information, visit cityofchino.org/concerts or visit the Chino Kiwanis Club website. I would guess starting maybe the next meeting, we're going to be listing the bands, I hope.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that are not elsewhere on the agenda. I will take the written request to speak first. We did have a written request to speak from a pastor, but he has become ill today and unable to join us, so I'm going to ask our Director of Finance, Rob Burns, to lead us in an invocation. So anyone who would like to join us is invited to please stand.
Thank you, Mayor. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for the opportunity when we can come together and to celebrate as a community, the many people that make this a community, the people that we just recognized. We thank you for them and their participation. We ask tonight, Lord, that you would be with the council, help them to make wise and informed decisions that benefit the people of this community. Lord, we also lift up our first responders, our police and firemen and women. Pray that you would just keep them safe, help them to do their job in a respectful manner, but to make sure that there is safety in the streets. And we thank you for everything that you do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rob. Our next written request to speak is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office.
Well, good evening, Mayor, council members, staff, and community members. My name is Melissa Campani, and I do have a couple of announcements. Supervisor Hagman has asked me to come and share. I have shared them before, but this is very exciting, so we don't want anyone to miss out. This is our last chance warning for Supervisor Kurt Hagman's open house taking place tomorrow, Wednesday, June the 5th, from 5 to 7 p.m., and that's going to be held in front of his district office at 14010 City Center Drive, and that is in Chino Hills. I do have our office phone number in case anyone has any questions. It's area code 909-465-5265 for any event information. We do ask that people pre-register. In doing so, there will be an extra ticket. We're going to be having opportunity drawings. So we're going to have a passport when you visit all the county departments. So if you get that filled out and you do pre-register, then you're going to get a couple of tickets for the drawings that will take place. So the registration, the RSVP, would be supervisorhagman.eventbrite.com, and this event should pull right up for you. So like I say, we're going to be having many county departments coming out to our west end so that they can meet some of our constituents. And I know that people often have county questions and they're not really sure how to have these questions answered. So many of the departments will be coming out so that in fact you can talk with them, and if they don't have an answer for you, I'm sure they can get one. So I wanted to note that we are going to be feeding everyone, which is really the importance for the sign up for the registration. So we have enough food, and the food will be provided by Chino Valley Professional Firefighters and Chino Police Professional Employees Association as an add-on. So as you can tell, this is going to be the event of the summer. We're looking for everyone to please attend and have a good time with us. And I have one more quick announcement. Supervisor Hagman will be hosting a document shredding event. I know I've been talking about this. We wanted to make sure that people who had papers that they need to get rid of, and I'll say need, because we don't want these papers hanging around with personal confidential information. So hopefully you've gotten all your papers together to join us Saturday, June the 15th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that is going to be taking place right here at Chino City Hall. We will have some lines to follow and so forth, and that is 13220 Central Avenue in Chino. This is free. The event is free. We do ask that you limit your shredding materials to 3 standard size filing boxes per vehicle. This is very important. We will help everyone we possibly can until the trucks fill up. So don't wait until 12:01. Try and come a little bit earlier. I don't necessarily think you have to be there right at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. to wait for us. The trucks will get there and they start at 9. But don't wait until the very, very end either. We don't want to run out of room. And this is also in partnership with our city of Chino. So thank you very much, Chino. And I guess that's about it for me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Melissa. Those are the only requests that I had to speak. Is there anyone else in the meeting that would like to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Yes, ma'am. Come on up, please. Give us your name.
Okay, my name is Sharon Duran. I just wanted to say real quick thank you to Mr. Chris Flores because I reached out to him last week regarding the summer lunch program because I noticed there was no information out about that, and I got kiddos so that, we go to the splash pad once or twice a week at the lunch, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with these kids now? How am I gonna feed all these mouths? So he put me in contact with amazing, what's her name, Charlene, Isaiah's Rock. I got that information, I got resources, and I really wish more residents and community members knew that they can reach out to you guys. Like, what do I do now? So, but I just want to say thank you to Chris Flores for that information and putting me in contact with the people I needed to be in contact with. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations, Chris. Very nice. Good job, Linda. Anyone else in the audience would like to address the council on any item that's not on the agenda? Now, I'm not sure, but do we have any students in the audience that are here on any kind of an assignment for summer or anything? No? Okay. Those are the only written requests or requests I have to speak this evening, so the next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. Do any council members wish to have an item pulled? If not, then I would entertain a motion in a second, please. We have a motion from Councilman Flores, second from Councilman Burton. Please vote. And the item passes 4 yes, and 1 absent. Next item on the agenda is item number 9. It's under public hearings. This is the Community Development Block Grant 2024-25 Annual Action Plan. This item is to conduct a public hearing and to approve the 24-25 one-year action plan for the CDBG program. I'd like to declare the public hearing open and ask for a staff report from Tracy Rossetti Smith, our Senior Management Analyst, and from Warren Morleone, our Director of Development Services.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Staff presents the 24-25 one-year CDBG action plan, which identifies the recommended usage of HUD funds in the amount of $512,733. Exhibit 1 displays the funding recommendations broken down by categories. This year, there were 7 public service applicants. Each project was recommended for funding on prioritization by the Community Services Park and Recreation Commission CDBG Subcommittee after a comprehensive review process in February. The funding recommendations include Human Services Family Counseling $15,000, Family Services Association Senior Meals $10,955, House of Ruth Services for Battered Women $10,000, Inland Valley Hope Partners Food and Shelter $10,000, Public Works Graffiti Abatement $10,000, Chino Neighborhood House Food Assistance $10,955, and Inland Fair Housing Landlord Tenant Mediation, $10,000. Exhibit 1 also includes new capital improvement project funding in the amount of $333,277, reallocated unexpended funds from fiscal year 22-23 in the amount of $125,592, and project carryovers in the amount of $250,756. This public hearing fulfills HUD's citizen participation requirements. Additionally, there were no comments received during the 30-day reporting public review period of March 4th through April 4th. Staff recommends that council conduct this public hearing, receive any comments, and approve the 24-25 action plan to be submitted to HUD. This concludes my report. Should there be any questions?
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and then ask for any comments from council members. None? Okay, then we need a motion and a second to approve item number 9. Motion from Councilman Burton, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. Item passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Under new business, item number 10, annual contract amendment / renewals and blanket purchase orders. This item is to authorize the annual contract amendments and/or renewals, issue blanket purchase orders, and authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the city. Our staff report this evening will be provided by Giselle Sandoval, our purchasing manager, and our Director of Finance, Mr. Rob Burns.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. For fiscal year 24-25, the approved budget encompasses essential ongoing services crucial for accomplishing the established goals and objectives across departments. According to the current purchasing ordinance, any contract amendments, renewals, or blanket purchase orders surpassing $50,000 requires approval from City Council. In alignment with this requirement, staff has compiled a comprehensive list of contracts and purchase orders awaiting your approval. These contracts are essential for sustaining routine, operational, vital to the city's ongoing functionality. Staff recommends that you authorize the city manager to enter into these annual contracts and to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the city. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. This is not a public hearing, but is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this council on this item? Seeing none, any council questions or comments? Okay, this is an easy council member. This is an easy meeting. Okay, I'd like to have a motion and a second then.
Careful with that E word, Mayor.
I know, right? It's been moved by Councilman Burton, second by Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. And passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
That's like saying quiet on a slow patrol ship.
I know, it's like, wait a minute. Maybe item number 11 will ask some questions. Okay, item number 11, award of contract, citywide tree trimming and tree maintenance services. Now, this has to be controversial, right? Award a professional services agreement to West Coast Arborist Incorporated, Anaheim, California, for citywide tree trimming and tree maintenance services in the amount of $999,976 with a 5-year term. Staff report is from Mr. Sal Parra, our Public Works Supervisor, and Haijin Lee, our Director of Public Works.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. The City of Chino's urban forest consists of a large variety of tree species that provides an ecological environment for residents and helps mitigate rising temperatures throughout the city. For 30 years, the city has been recognized by the national organization Tree City USA, reflecting the city's commitment to proper tree preservation. The city utilizes contract tree trimming and tree maintenance service to perform scheduled trimming of the city's estimated 16,500 maintained trees. Sufficient funds are included in the fiscal year 2024 through 25 Public Works Department operating budget. Maintaining and providing a thriving urban forest is critical to preserving the health of the trees' aesthetics, and staff has a civic responsibility of delivering high-quality tree management and maintenance practices that promote a beautiful community. West Coast Arborist and Company from Anaheim, California, recommends a 3-year cycle for the species of trees within city rights-of-way. The council allows the city budget to be proactive, and we can provide a 2-year cycle for our community. This ensures every city-maintained tree in the city right-of-way gets trimmed every other year, based on a Grid 1 and Grid 2 cycle, with Benson Avenue dividing the city's tree grid system. This helps guarantee the health and aesthetics of city-maintained trees. Areas such as homeowners associations and business complexes with property management are not part of the city maintenance responsibilities. For the past 5 years, West Coast Arborist and Company has been performing tree trimming and tree maintenance for our city. Under the current contract, the city has successfully maintained a high-level quality and service, averaging 8,250 trees trimmed annually. Staff has elected to piggyback from a competitive request for proposal for the city of Norco conducted on April 3rd, 2023, which selected West Coast Arborist and Company as its provider for tree trimming and tree maintenance services. West Coast Arborist and Company has agreed to extend the same pricing and terms to the city of Chino as a piggyback agreement, including locked-in pricing and rates for 5 years beginning fiscal year 2024 through 25 to fiscal year 2028 through 29. City staff estimated that had Chino independently pursued a similar contract, a 4 to 6% increase in tree trimming service cost would have been anticipated. By piggybacking from the City of Norco's agreement, there is a cost savings in the first 2 years of the contract, where Norco's rate of $75 per tree compares favorably to Chino's current rate of $76.90 per tree. A difference in rates resulting in an annual savings of $15,675 for Chino tree trimming expenses for the initial 2 years of the contract, based on the average number of trees serviced. Staff recommends that the City Council award a contract to West Coast Arborist and Company from Anaheim, California, for tree trimming and maintenance services not to exceed an amount of $999,976, with a 5-year term beginning fiscal year 2024 through 25 to fiscal year 2028 to 29, subject to City Council approval. This concludes my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions the council may have. Also, a representative from West Coast Arborist is here to answer any questions the council may have. Thank you.
Sal, would you go back on the slide of the prices? Nope. One forward. Nope. Oh, I see. Okay. The other sheet, though, showed it was only 600 and some thousand. That one. So how did we go from 618,000 to 999,000?
Mayor, that's the budget, and the 618,750 is a contract, annual contract. So we don't need any more additional appropriation. We have sufficient funds appropriated.
But you're asking for $999,976. Why 300 and some $1,000 over what we need?
Is it? Let me see. There's Ben who could explain. I think there's some additional contract.
Hello, Benjamin Roscoe, Public Works Services Manager. So we do, that's for the basic tree trimming. We do have funds in the maintenance district. Could you go back to the slide? So we do have other funds appropriated for maintenance district. Tree, so that's the street tree fund, $550,000. Civic Center fund for trees around Civic Center. Medians and parkways, that's their fund. And the maintenance district fund is $374,000. That's the total amount of all funds that put in for tree trimming services throughout the entire city.
I guess I'm confused why you have that other sheet that only shows 618,000.
Go back to that.
That's
Well, that's for our main purpose of tree trimming. The other stuff is for emergency services, which we do have a lot of for stump grinding, removals, individual tree trimmings, tree planting, extraordinary work that's done by the contractor.
Okay, but if we take, I guess I'm being picky, but if we take the 618,000, now go back to that other chart. So somewhere within this is the 618,000. I would ask next year for you to split out the 618 and then show the additional in the different categories,
No problem.
okay? Because to me, it's not clean
Okay.
and easy to understand. Anybody else have any questions? Or am I the only one that's confused?
Just a comment. I can wait until the Mayor Pro Tem provides her comment.
Yes, Karen?
I know we've talked about this with the tree maintenance style in the past. Did we evaluate during this contract, the review of whether or not we're trimming them appropriately so we don't have to after, hopefully as, the high wind season? And did we look at that this year and make sure that we were trimming the trees just a little bit? I mean, you don't want to drive there and see them like bare, like they look like toothpicks, but sometimes I think we have a West Coast come out and trim them, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're not going to be trimmed sufficiently when we get some of those high winds. Was that part of the review this year?
Absolutely, Mayor Pro Tem. West Coast arborist requirements is to trim at least 30% of the tree itself, just depending on the foliage and the tree species. There's some trees that do get top heavy where we have to remove more foliage, but for the most part, the requirement is to remove 30% of the tree's foliage.
Okay, that's good. The other thing is, I think, in the tree health, and when we get to the high wind season, we don't want to lose these trees. If we don't trim them appropriately, they topple and we lose the entire mature tree. I guess just actually, we do get calls about trees, interestingly enough, and their branches and their blocking. How does somebody, Sal, if they have a tree that's kind of an outlier in this position, when they come through and do the work, how do they call city yards and make a request to come out and have a tree evaluated if it gets too top heavy or somehow it just seems like it's not on this cycle? Because, the tree doesn't obviously know the cycle all the time. So can you help people explain how they can call and get some help with the tree that needs some extra maintenance?
Absolutely. If there's a tree that's a concern, or if it's partially blocking a street light that may not be on the current grid, a service request can be called in, and staff will go out and assess it, and we'll even trim the tree back, clearing the street light or a stop sign for that. But the phone number to call Public Works for any tree-related concern would be 909-334-3266.
Okay. And Ken, I believe we can also do that through C-Click Fix now for our public, right? They can report that issue on C-Click Fix.
The Chino app.
Yeah, the Chino app, My Chino. Yeah, oh, sorry, Kurt. And then on top of that, if you do have these trees that are blocking sidewalks or lights, please report them for us. We don't want people, bicyclists or pedestrians, getting out into the street, becoming, a hazard to different things. So if you have a tree that's a hazard in your neighborhood, help us by reporting it. We'll come out and maintain the tree, not just for safety, but also for the health of the tree. So thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank you for replacing some of the dead trees or the areas where the tree died several years ago and was never replanted. I've seen some new trees being put in, so I'm glad to see that. Any other comments or questions? Okay, then I would entertain a motion and a second, please. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. Item passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Next item on the agenda is mayor and council reports. Mine will be pretty brief. On May 22nd, several of us attended the Public Works employee luncheon, which was really a lot of fun. It's fun to see the employees kind of let their hair down, so to speak, and have a good time with each other. And the gifts were amazing that management provided. And then that evening, I attended the Buena Vista High School graduation. It was their largest graduation class. There were 100 kids that graduated. And it was a fun graduation because many of these kids were never expected to graduate high school. So it's a major accomplishment for them. May 27th, Monday, we attended the Memorial Day event, which I thought was very, very well attended. Like always, it's growing every year, so that was very nice. Thursday, the 30th, I attended the Chino de Salter Authority Finance Committee. And then at noon, City Manager Reich and I attended the West End Mayor's Roundtable meeting, and the chief discussion there was about homelessness and what other cities are doing about that, and then also our Humane Society contract. So we're looking at alternatives. And then that afternoon, I attended the new fire station groundbreaking, which I know Chief Williams is going to talk to us about. That was very, very nicely done. Of course, it was nicely done because guess who managed to put that on and coordinate it? A certain employee that used to be with the city of Chino that's now with the fire district. I have to pick on him. It was very nicely done, Dave. Let's see, then Monday, this last Monday, I, along with Councilman Burton, we conducted one Community Services Park and Recreation Commission applicant interview, and then with Councilman Lucio, I conducted 2 more of the applicant interviews. Then during that, in between some of those, I also attended a Zoom meeting for San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. It was for the selection of the next chair and vice chair of SBCTA Board of Directors, which will be voted on tomorrow. And that's all I have this evening. Mayor Pro Tem Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. My report tonight will be short. As we discussed in the last meeting, I got on a plane and flew out of state to vacation with my family and got back last night. Sorry, Chief, to miss the groundbreaking and the Memorial Day event and the other things. I just want to say tonight, congratulations to all the Cultural Foundation scholarship winners. It's always nice to see these young men and women receive these accolades, and it's a very nice compliment to their parents, and also a testament to the good things that are happening in Chino with our young people, as well as just congratulations to Mr. Hottinger and his family for running Hottinger's Meats in town. It's a great location to buy your local meat or sausage. If you haven't been in there, check it out. And that concludes my report for tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Burton.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 22nd, I attended the Public Works Luncheon as well. Hajan and Ben, you guys did a great job for putting that together. I was also very impressed, Mayor, just the camaraderie and the teamwork and everything that was exhibited out there with our employees. It was really awesome. I really appreciated seeing that. On the 27th, I also attended the Memorial Day Remembrance event at the community building. On the 29th, I met with staff regarding a citizen concern in the city. And on the 30th, along with the mayor, I also attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Chino Valley Fire Station number 68. What a great location that is for them as well. It's going to be up on, is it Sokol Canyon, Chief? And it's way back up in a corner, but it's going to be very, very accessible to the neighborhoods throughout. And it'll be really nice for the fire employees that actually stay the night up there. It's really quiet back up there in them there hills. And I think that they'll be able to get a lot of barbecuing going on up in there. On the 3rd, I attended the Community Services Parks and Recreation Commission interview with the mayor. And then today we had closed session. I'd also like to thank Hottingers and congratulate Hottingers for being in our town for over 40 years. That is some big business going on over there. They do some quality work. It's affordable. The meat is quality. And the folks that work there are really, really nice. So if you've never been over to Hottingers, I encourage you to go over there. And thanks to our staff for lighting up our mission statement over here. Together, we take pride in providing quality, caring service to our community. I think we need to highlight that. I know that our residents here in town, our business owners know that, but I think it's important that we really highlight that and light it up because it's something that we hold very, very close and dear. And that's being handled by our city manager, Linda Reich. So thank you very much. And that is it, Mayor.
Karen wants to add to our mission statement.
Oh, it was the recommendation of one of our residents, Mayor, and beyond.
And beyond. Very good. Councilman Flores.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So on the 2nd of May, I attended the Public Works Luncheon as well. Hygiene, you guys did a great job. My only recommendation is I've seen all the prizes that were given out. I would switch out the Angels tickets for Dodger tickets next time to get a better bang for your buck. On the 27th, I attended the Memorial Day Remembrance event as well. It was a great turnout, and I think to that point, I'd like to recognize that the Assembly District 53 Veteran of the Year is our very own American Legion Post 299 Commander Huizar. So I just want to say congratulations to Commander Huizar and all the great work he's doing over there. He will be nominated at Freddie Rodriguez's annual summer barbecue that's being held on June 29th. So we we invite the community to go and celebrate with Mr. Huizar. On the 30th of May, Chief, forgive me, I missed the groundbreaking. I'll be there for the ribbon cutting. I had some scheduling complications with my calendar, but again, the ribbon cutting is just right around the corner, right? So we'll be there to celebrate with you and the rest of the team. And one thing I want to mention, Mayor, is on this past Sunday, I had the chance to take my dog, Nellie, to the Pups at the Park at Dodger Stadium. And if you've never done that, it was probably one of the best experiences I had. Out of every dog there, I only seen one dog poop, and that was my dog. And that was the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me in a long time. So, but it was
bring bags, right?
I did. Well, they cleaned it up for me, and I stood there in shame watching. I did. And last but not least, to Hottingers, congratulations, for being Business of the Month. And I want to ask you, Mayor, what was the name of that dish? You guys
Turducken.
Turducken. Okay, I got my brother and my sister out there. They eat with me, so we're gonna try that out. Turducken.
But they're big. You have to take a lot of people.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mayor.
City Manager Reich.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to share the Chino Kiwanis concert schedule
Oh, good.
for everyone. So it starts June 13th. There's going to be 5 concerts here on the lawn. They start with Red Hot Cholo Peppers, which is a Red Hot Chili Peppers tribute. On June 20th, Ransom. It's a rock band. June 27th, Britain's Finest, the Beatles tribute. July 11th, Private Eyes, Hall & Oates tribute. And on July 18th, No Doubt tribute. And then the final concert will be held at Founders Park in the Preserve, July 26th. That's a Friday, which is a different day. Most of them are on Thursdays, and it's Soto Latin R&B.
And no country.
Yeah, it's tragic.
How come?
This is a city of Chino. I just don't understand. Those are our roots here in our town, and we don't see country music.
How come we don't have a country band?
I'm not on that committee, Mayor.
Yeah.
Well, get on that committee.
That's all I have.
I think we should add one more. It has to be country. Doggone it. Okay, City Attorney Galante.
No report, thank you, Mayor.
You don't play in a country band or anything?
You really don't want me to sing or try to play anything.
All righty. Chief Menson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to call up our Public Works Director, Hayden Lee. We're going to give a report on Ramona Avenue and the closure that took place there yesterday. So I'll let her talk about what happened, and I'll talk about our response.
Yeah. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Yesterday, our contractor was performing some potholing operation, and they used a wrong kind of equipment, and they went too deep, and they hit our water line. That resulted in extensive damage to the pavement. And we also have 2 properties that do not have water service currently, so we had to jump them from another property. So they have water service, just not directly from their own water service line. So we're in active discussion with the contractor on remedy for when they're gonna be able to repair and restore the Ramona Avenue. It was initially intended as a trench repair, because we do have some trench settlement after the sewer improvement project on Schaefer and Ramona, south of Schaefer. We had to do some traffic control, and then when the cars were on it, it actually settled the trench over the storm drain. So our intent was to repair that trench, and during that operation, I think our contractor hit our water line. So we're actively speaking with them to figure out when we're gonna be able to restore that. And Chief and I and our Public Works crew set up the traffic control and detour lines, and they're actually working very well. And also our officers obviously are manning the evenings to make sure that the big 53-foot trucks are not wayward in their direction. But all residents and businesses do have access. We're just waiting to discuss with the contractor on restoration schedule.
Okay, now, since the contractor caused this themselves, we're not
Correct.
gonna have to pay any extra money. He's gonna pay for all of the repairs, correct?
Yes, we are in negotiation. Obviously, as such event like this, they're trying not to claim that it was their fault, but eventually they're going to have to come to terms with the fact that they use wrong type of equipment. Per their contract, they have to recognize and acknowledge the field condition, which now they're denying. So some of these discussions, we also have engaged with our city attorney, and it's going to get, I'm sure it's going to have some external discussions on the side.
It's going to be messy.
It will be messy, and the repair is quite extensive.
You know, when there's a leak underground and there's a lot of disturbance of the dirt and stuff, that can cause some very, very serious ramifications down the line. So we need to make double sure that the inspection is done correctly, to make sure all of that is backfilled and compacted correctly, so we don't have future sinkage.
Absolutely. So we won't really know the extent of the damage until we actually expose where the void is. And then I'm pretty sure even from that exposure, the damage will be extended probably further out from what we could see currently.
Well, especially if it interrupted the water service to a couple of houses, that kind of sends a red flag as well.
And I should add, our communication to them made it clear that we are reserving our right to pursue damages until such time as we can actually assess the amounts and the impacts, including police personnel time.
Okay, thank you.
Hajan, I just want to thank you and Chief for responding so quickly, especially to our residents. It's one of those things until it's gone, electricity or water or those different things. I also want to apologize to our residents locally that have been impacted by that. When I saw the pictures of that sinkhole, it's significant. There's going to be a lot of remediation, a lot of correction there. Thank you for helping our residents so quickly get their water services restored. I appreciate our staff acting upon that immediately.
Yeah, so we have, our traffic unit was out there this morning before sunup, and they'll be out there tonight until the commuting traffic into the nighttime to make sure that the traffic flow, obviously our concern with this is being it's a major thoroughfare for our commercial trucks, and we don't want those trucks traveling in our residential neighborhoods now. So I think we've come up with a pretty good detour plan for that so that does not occur. And they'll be our traffic unit continue to be working that schedule until we feel comfortable with the detour. We did get some feedback from the community as far as some of the challenge with the signs. Ms. Duran, thank you for your feedback. We went and made some, it's one of those things, we set it up and we have to make some changes as the day progresses. So, but I think we got a pretty good plan in place. We have to allow local traffic. Obviously, you have Buena Vista there. You have the adult school that they're moving in there. So there is local traffic that has to come down Ramona from Chino Avenue. But our biggest thing, obviously, our challenge was a detour for the trucks.
Right.
And then just a separate topic. So I know this came up at the last council meeting. So over the past 6 weeks or so, we've been researching the possibility of obtaining and purchasing a bloodhound dog. Part of this research was contacting our allied agencies, Claremont, Laverne, the Sheriff's Department, Pomona, and seeing how the bloodhound, the program works and where they purchase the dogs. And I'm happy to say that we have placed a deposit on a bloodhound dog with a vendor in Florida. So it is a 11-week-old puppy. So it'll be with the vendor being trained for the next 8 months. And in that 8-month time period, we will have our handler that will go out to Florida. It's a 4-day training process. They will train with the dog for 4 days and then come back, and then the dog will be operational and be assigned to our patrol division. So on the company's website, they have like videos of news footage and of their dogs that they've trained that have put into use. And I don't know if you guys remember the walkaway from the fire camp back 2 years ago was we caught that guy with the use of the Sheriff's Department and Claremont's bloodhound. And so on their website is the news thing from 2 years ago where they interviewed those two officers. So those two dogs were trained at this facility. So
what's the website?
It is Scent Evidence Canine. So it's this is their expertise is bloodhounds, and it's for a lot of different uses. Obviously, missing persons, it's used a lot for that. For walkaways, when you have People that suffer from Alzheimer's or dementia, and they walk away from their houses. It's used a lot of times for that. Obviously, suspects. And then what's really ramped this up over the last couple of months is the prison. And so we're excited that we'll have this tool and deployed probably right after the first of the year.
Hey, Chief, do you think the state will pick up a little bit of that cost of that bloodhound?
I don't know. We can ask.
I think we ought to charge them for
They
it.
won't meet with us. Yeah, they won't meet with us.
And that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
Not a question, but happy birthday.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I actually do have a question, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I am wondering if you can give a quick, brief summary on the incident that occurred over on Ramona last week.
Yeah, so we had a homicide there at the extended stay on early Saturday morning, involving two suspects that were ultimately that we tracked down to the city of San Marcos. We called, obviously, something like that, very significant in our city. We immediately called in detectives. They began working this. I will just say, I know we talked about this time and time again, but with the usage of our real-time crime center, our technology, that really is what helped us break that case. And to be able to have the two suspects arrested within 14 hours. Wow. So from the time the crime was committed till the time of that we arrested them. So, some hard work, some really good investigative work with leads, but with the tools and the resources that the council has provided us over the years, I will say, and I know we're kind of, we have one of these, it's not a matter of if we're gonna catch them, it's when. And so,
Right.
And when we have these type of incidences, we have leads, we will not go home until they are all exhausted or the suspect is apprehended.
And I appreciate it, and again, if you can let the team know how much we appreciate their hard work. 14 hours, that's fast. And the other thing to be noted here is none of these individuals were City of Chino residents, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Okay.
Great job. And I hope you had a happy birthday.
I did, thank you.
You're welcome. Chief Williams.
Okay, so where do I start? Let me
You can
just
start
start.
by apologizing.
How about if I start by saying thank you? Thank you, because I know that work like this doesn't get done without your staff. And so obviously Rita did a great job here, and Rita and the rest of the staff that put that together. I don't get to be successful without people like that. So thank you for training her and letting her come over. Let me
Yeah,
just say
well, we
that.
didn't let her come over. She was stolen.
So we're very excited, obviously, the groundbreaking, so we're moving forward there. There's a lot going on now, and so we're hoping that once the shovel actually gets in the dirt, it's 12 to 18-month build, and we're hoping by the end of 25-ish, or maybe even early spring of 26, but I think that's the targeted time for us. So we're very excited about that. I also want to just give you an update, not that there's anything to report. We're still pursuing the ambulance project. We still plan on going live on October 1st. And there's some talks about the current provider pursuing some of the legal options that they have available to them. We feel very comfortable that we did everything in the right vein, and so we're very comfortable with the posture that the county took. We don't see that being a change. It's the process, I believe, at this point. But it is the legal system, and it has to work itself out. And then I think finally, I'm happy to report that we just had 7 firefighters start. They're on their second day today. We're very excited for them, and so once they get through their initial training, we will bring them for an invitation to meet the council and the mayor. Good. And then I had the opportunity to drive out to 2 different fire stations, and I'm gonna name them by name. I don't know if you know them, but I had a chance to promote Brian Wofford to captain today, and we promoted Bobby Pope, little fella, to captain as well. So very excited, and tomorrow I'll be promoting 2 engineers. So that's all I have for you, unless you have any questions.
Well, I'll tell you what, the groundbreaking was very, very, very nice event, and that is a beautiful location. But even though it's in Chino Hills, it's going to be a big benefit to us as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we're the Chino Valley Fire District, and we provide services for this valley. And I like to remind the councils and the mayor that, you know, although 4 of the stations reside in one city or another, the reality is you have access to 8 fire stations and all the people that come with it. And I do want to say, because we mentioned Hottagers, what a great business, and we will be barbecuing, so I'm actually going to invite you. Now you're going to be invited out, and you must come to have a burger or a steak or something, so we'll do that. My plan was to retire out of that station, but God had other plans and put me up, but that's in walking distance from my house, so it's going to be a nice location.
Oh, it's going to be a beautiful location. Well, thank you very much. Okay, any questions or last-minute comments? Okay, with that then, we will adjourn to our workshop that we're going to hold on June 11th at 6 p.m. right here in the council chambers. And then our next council meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 18th at 6 o'clock with closed session no earlier than 4 p.m. if needed. With that, we are adjourned.